So my name is Rick McIntyre and work for the Park Service helping to study the wolves, help people see the wolves, and do talks like this. So I think you've heard a little bit about the story of wolves in Yellowstone. If we go back to 1872, when the park was first established, first national park in the world, the gray wolf was very much a native animal, just like the bison, the elk, etc. But the early rangers, like almost everyone else in the country at that time, felt that wolves were no good and should be killed off. So if you were a ranger here in the late 1800s, the early 1900s, one of your jobs would have been to kill the wolves in your district. So they did that one by one.
Where the snow line is in the wintertime is getting higher and higher and higher every year. And so that snow just isn't available for us as a water source anymore. And as the hillsides lose their snowpack, we lose our trees to lack of moisture. And when the trees die, the snow melts even quicker because there's no shade. And so it's a constant cycle of bad crap going on. Wolverine is definitely an indicator species of what will tell us is happening in the snowy country. As snow conditions change with a warming climate, our snowpack up top, above 8,000 feet, is becoming shallower snows, and it's melting faster each spring. And everyone says, so what? So why do we care? Well, that snow that is up on those mountains is providing about 60 to 80% of our river water, our water that everybody uses for their livelihood. So each summer when all that snow melts, it's providing the water that you and I drink. It seeps into the groundwater system, it becomes part of our aquifer, it also fills our rivers and streams, becomes part of our habitat, providing, of course, water for fish and every other species you can think of that lives along those waterways. Yellowstone is being monitored very, very closely. We have a 21-day longer growing period than we had in 1995. 21 days longer of frost-free days. Now, what does that mean for the animals? What frost-free days means is you might have earlier migrations of birds. The food isn't here yet, though. They get here, but there's not enough food. You have less water, so you have less insects to provide those birds with food. You might have amphibians that are hatching out earlier because it's warmer, and it fools them into thinking that it's springtime. And what actually happens to them is we get a frost a couple days later, and then it kills them. So lots of changes are occurring on the landscape that they're monitoring here in Yellowstone. One of them is the wolverine population, the amphibian population. They're looking at insects, which we're going to talk about today as well. And lots of green up on the mountains, more so than we've ever had in years past.
And out of the park by the north boundary. Private Nelson's 6th Cavalry Regiment, Soda Butte Soldier Station, August 1st, 1895.
All right, thank you. And memory number 2.
Notified by the district ranger's office that I should inform Miss Berner not to come back to Yellowstone again due to her past record. I put on my most tactful scowl, rode to Bridger Lake, and tearfully notified her that she weren't wanted in these hereabouts. Ranger the Thoroughfare Ranger Station, August 9, 1940.
I've never have figured out what she did.
I know, I was wondering what that was all
But that's
about.
something for somebody else to come research
know.
one day, right? The next memory, number 3, please.
There were just so many kids today that I declared Visitors Day, and consequently had one of the finest nature study trips of the season. Went to the beaver ponds where we studied the habits of beavers, hypnotized frogs, and observed a herd of antelope. Ranger naturalist Mildred Erickson, Mammoth Hot Springs, August 19, 1947.
Number 4, please.
Okay, this is from John, who was a park visitor from Dallas, Texas, when he summited Mount Washburn in 1985. This was one of the greatest hikes I've made. I first did this in 1953 with my wife and oldest children. Nothing in this world like Yellowstone Park. This makes our 6th trip here.
Thank you. Number 5, please.
We made it in 5 hours from Swan Lake Flat. So how do we get down? A&R Thomas, Park Visitors and Honeymooners, written on the summit of Electric Peak in July 31st, 1989.